Welcome to the class. Students, in the very last video we have seen about the purification of metal, refining of metal, and then we have seen how this metal have been done as per creativity. Now in this video we are going to see the very last topic of this chapter is about corrosion. So students, you might have often came with the term corrosion. You have studied about corrosion in previous standards, in 8th standard, 9th standards, and even in one of the standard in 10th you have been studied about corrosion. And even you have been studied about what is rusting, what is corrosion, what are the prevention of corrosion mechanisms. But today, in this chapter, specifically we are going to see about corrosion, about metal, how they can be prevented from corrosion, how metals are being corroded, what happens if metal are being corroded. So we are going to see in detail about the corrosion regarding the metal. So students, for that we are going to see about the corrosion of metal. So, if we understand the basic concept of corrosion itself, so first we'll see what is corrosion. That is, what is corrosion? So, corrosion is nothing but the process of corroding the metal. The process of corroding the metal is nothing but known as corrosion. So you might have often seen the corrosion. So this is a wire I am having it. If you see this wire, so in the zooming you will be able to see this wire is somehow is in a process of corrosion. So this has been going to corrode very well. It is in this process, and if you see this part of the wire, it is completely corroded. So this is the process. It is going to be corrosion. It is going to be corroded, and slowly this is how slowly it has been corroded so much that this wire is completely corroded. And you might have seen iron later house and many copper vessels been corroded time to time. So a question arises, why this corrosion takes place? What are the factors due to which the corrosion takes place? So for that, first we are going to understand about the example of corrosion. This we are going to see the example of corrosion. So in this concept we will see how does corrosion takes place in different metals. So in that, first we will discuss about sulfur. Yes, we will discuss about silver. So you have often seen silver vessels or silver metals made many the substances made of silver metals which we are using in day-to-day life. So I am just taking an example of silver. That is Ag. Now silver is often corroded. You might have seen. So why this corrosion takes place in silver? Because these silver react in air, and in air there is presence of sulfur. So due to the presence of sulfur, this man became silver, and I am having sulfur. So what happens when the sulfur present in air react with silver or silver metal? What happens? It will make silver sulfide. That is Ag2S. So we can say that when silver reacts with sulfur, it gives silver sulfide. So students, this is how I am just studying over silver. With silver, react itself or give silver sulfide. This is how the corrosion in silver takes place. Now we are going to see the corrosion of silver in, now we are going to see corrosion with copper. So students, you might have often been using copper vessels for worshipping or for religious purpose and all. So you ever see whenever you are going to use that vessels that you are going to clean with those substances like lemon juice and all which are having acetic acid properties. So, if we see often some of the copper vessels which we are using in this line for many times, you will see that copper vessels have been corroded. They have been corroded, like greenish, they have been corroded on that vessels. That corrosion is nothing but it is a corrosion taken place on this copper vessels. So, what happens? This copper. So considering the copper vessels, so we see that when this copper react with carbon dioxide, yes, moist carbon dioxide which is present in the air. See, each and every corrosion is just due to the presence of air, moisture. Let me see in later. So even in very first case, there was sulfur. In silver, sulfur was present in air due to which it get reacted, and by due to the silver sulfide is formed, silver is to get corroded. Same way we talk about copper, that is Cu. So what happens in copper? When these copper is being reacted with carbon dioxide, and you can see O2 and writing CO is carbon dioxide. So when copper react with carbon dioxide, these both, because this is moist, that means this carbon dioxide is having moisture in it, due to which when it reacts with copper, it will give CO3. That is copper carbonate. This will make copper carbonate. So students, we have seen about copper also and how copper has been corroded, and same if we go with iron nail. Since this is iron is too common example, if you see iron is present each and everywhere. If I see over here, yes, even to attach this blackboard, iron nail is required, and each and everything around us, some of the way it has been surrounded are used mainly by iron nail. That even iron nail get corroded when it is exposed to atmosphere, and it come in contact with atmosphere. First it is quite grey and shiny, and after in exposure to air, it slowly get corroded as I show you this, and after corrosion it becomes dark brown color. This is how the iron nail is getting corroded. So students, with this we have seen the topic example of corrosions. Now we will see how this corrosion takes place. Exactly what happens that iron nail has been corroded. So students, for that we will see the activity 3.14, and along with that we will conclude that what is the factor which is responsible for the corrosion of these. So for that we need 3 test tubes. So I will just take test tube 1, test tube 2 and test tube 3. So let us name this as A, B and C. Okay. And I am present in rubber cup over here. So I'm just putting this rubber cup. Okay. This is a rubber cup over there. So it remains at air doesn't goes inside. So what happens that I am going to put an iron nail in this, and all are having the iron nail. Now what happens, students, that these iron nail, see, now in very first test tube A, what I am going to take? Hot water, hot distilled water. So this test tube will contain hot distilled water. So now we'll take B, in which we take again hot water, along with I'll take the oil, so that this presence of oil in this distilled water, this hot water will prevent from air to enter into the water. And you know water and oil are invisible to each other. So basically there will be two layers. The below layer will be of water and upper layer will be of oil. Now in very third we will take calcium anhydrous calcium sulfide. By taking this, we will take this balls of anhydrous calcium. It is a silvery ball. Now I'll keep this test tube for 2 to 3 days or for a longer time. For some of the 5 to 6 days for a longer time. After that, we will observe this test tube. I will see which of this nail in the test tube will get corroded. So, as for that, if I observe, we will see what happens. As the only test tube A will be corroded. Means the iron nail in the test tube A will get corroded, but the nail in B and C will not corrode. So question arises, even there is water over here, even there is water over here. So why does B doesn't corrode it? This is the reason, because A is having only water. So in presence of water, basically it is having moisture. Air is presence of. We talk about B. So the nail, the iron nail in the B test tube will not corrode, because this is the water. But here there is oil, and oil and water are invisible, due to which oil will not let the air to enter into this water, due to which this will not happen. And very much which we have anhydrous calcium sulfide. So these anhydrous calcium sulfide will absorb all the moisture from in this test tube, due to which there will be no moisture, there will be no water, there will be no air, due to which B and C in B and C test tube with iron it will not corrode. But in case of A, it will corrode, just because here easily the presence of air is there. Moreover, due to the presence of water also, and there is the presence of moisture, this A will get corroded. So with this, students, we can say the conclusion that why these iron nails are being corroded. So these iron nails of the animal will get corroded because that metals come in contact with air and moisture. If we talk about this iron nail also, it comes in contact with air and moisture, and due to that only this iron nail get corroded. So students, this is is all about the activity 3.40, in which we have seen the conclusion that why these iron corroded, in which case it can be corroded. So now, what prevention can be taken? What prevention can be taken to avoid corrosion in iron nail? So if I am having the iron nail of day using some of the product or substances of mine, so how can I protect that I get that substance from corrosion? So basically what I can do, I can apply paint, greasing, moreover I can apply a chrome painting, and moreover I can make alloy from it. So what are the ways to prevent? Applying painting, oiling, greasing, anoding, and applying and making alloy from them. This is how we can prevent corrosion of these metals or this iron. Right, students? About prevention of rusting iron. Now we are going to see about alloy. So students, in alloy is nothing but a heterogeneous mixture of elements. Means they can be metal or metal non-metal. So if we see iron is found in pure state in nature. But if we see the solid state, that is very soft at high temperature, when it is hot, it is so soft that it can be easily stretched. So you cannot use or you cannot make anything from pure form of iron. So that is what we need to do. We need to add carbon of 0.05% less amount of carbon in iron, so that iron becomes strong and hard, due to which we can see the iron nail and the things made up of iron are quite hard. As you can see this is quite hard. Why it is hard? Because it is containing carbon as well as iron. So with this we can say that alloy is an heterogeneous mixture of metal or metal non-metal. If we see stainless steel, the plate which we are using for food, for vessels, we have stainless steel vessels. Even that is a mixture of alloy. That is nothing but iron, nickel, and chromium. So what we do? We just melt iron and then we add another element like nickel and chromium, and by addition of that, it is nothing but stainless steel. So see, now by adding this to nickel and chromium, the properties changes of iron, due to which stainless steel vessels never rust. They are hard, and even they are having property of shiny and sonorous. So this makes sense that if we change the property of iron, then we can prevent iron from rusting. This is how alloy is useful. And if we see amalgam is nothing but a mixture of mercury and zinc. So we often write it as ZnHg, right? So even it is a mixture, it is in presence of mercury, you will be able to see presence of zinc, due to which it makes alloy a mixture of amalgam, zinc and Hg. Now students, this is all about alloy. We are very much clear what is alloy. Now we will go on to the difference between pure gold and 24 karat gold and 22 karat gold. So it is often said that 24 karat gold is said to be the purest gold compared to 22 karat gold. But the fact is that we cannot make ornaments from 24 karat gold, because 24 karat gold is, as I said, iron is pure form. It is so soft and too hot when because 24 karat gold is so soft that it is not able, we cannot make hard and ornaments from that. So for that what we need to, we need to add copper or silver in gold. That means the main element of the main is gold, and adding copper or silver in it. This the alloy mixture of this gold, due to which it will turn hard, and that in which we can make ornaments from gold. So being in 24 karat is the purest gold, but still 22 karat gold is only required for making ornaments because it is an alloy, it is a mixture of copper or silver with gold, and from pure 24 karat gold it is not possible to make hard ornaments, due to which, or gold ornaments, due to which being in 24% pure gold, 22 karat gold is being preferred for making ornaments. This is all about the chapter, students. We have seen, and here we are completing this chapter. It is the chapter number 3, metals and non-metals, in which we have very first thing seen what are physical properties, classification of elements, metal, non-metals, metal or metallic. Then we have seen about the occurrence of metal, how they have been, their reactivity series, according to the reactivity series, their extraction, and then we have seen their purification, refining, and the last we have seen what is corrosion. What is the example of corrosion? We have seen its activity, how iron has been corroded, the reason for corrosion, the prevention for corrosion, and then we have seen what is alloy, difference between pure gold and 24 karat gold. And the homework for this video is write a short note on alloy. So students, this is all for this chapter. See you